Hi, everyone. This is going to sound very weird for some of you who have been following me on YouTube for quite a long time and are wondering what this video is, because let's be honest, it's been a long time since I had last posted a proper video on this specific channel. And before I say anything else, I just want to catch everyone up to speed, in case you don't follow me on Twitter or don't follow me on Twitch, because I think I talked about this on the first Clapper stream, which I've been doing for almost 2 months now, actually, which is kind of insane. But just to get this out of the way, as of this year, or I guess the year before, I'm practically retired from making Let's Play videos. I'm retired from making YouTube videos just in general, and my career is shifting from being a YouTube content creator to being a filmmaker. So I just want to make sure that gets out of the way, and in case anyone decides to ask if I'm coming back to YouTube videos because I'm posting this, I guarantee you the answer is going to be a hard no. So I just want to get that out of the way. If you can probably guess by the title, this video is going to be about a virtual YouTuber that I've been following for quite a little bit, as recent as I could think within this past year or so, or I guess not within this past year, the past few months-ish or so. Now, before I dive too deep into this, I just want to say that this video is not by any means an exploitation of the troubling times that Mel is going through and is actually in the process of recovering from as of this month, or at least she's still in the process of recovering as of the time I'm recording this. In fact, I'm not going to bother mentioning anything about what this is, but I will provide links in the video description that will give you some idea on what are these troubling times that Mel's going through. A bunch of you, by the way, if you already know what's going on, you're welcome to fill in those who don't in the comments down below. I do ask that you be civil about that. In the sense of, don't be rude to others, don't insult or harass anyone. Obviously, don't pass off any opinions as fact, but just fill in people on what's been going on if you know it more than those who follow just me don't know. And yeah, that's basically what the one thing I needed to say. I feel that there are a few videos that have been on the internet covering these troubling times, and I honestly don't want to fall into that kind of same trap, because originally the plan for this video was to kind of talk about it based on everything that's been known, but that's kind of a bit tricky because you don't want to cross certain lines in the process, and you don't want to add unnecessary fuel to that fire. And I ultimately decided to basically abandon that plan, because I tried actually recording this video I think last night, and it just didn't quite work well with what I wanted to talk about. So this video instead is going to be used to promote Mel and give her support and encouragement through the form of a video letter that you're going to see at the end of this video. So if you do want to skip to that portion, I'll put the time code in the description. YouTube actually has a new feature where you can put in time codes of your video, and it will be portrayed as chapters in the video. So you can skip to a certain section of the video if you so please. There's really only 2 sections of this anyway, but I figured we at least start by just going over some ground rule stuff. Obviously, as I mentioned, be civil if you do want to talk about what's been happening to Mel in the comments. Just be civil about it. The other thing too, per Mel's wishes in a letter that she posted on Twitter a few weeks ago, don't mention anyone that wasn't involved in this specific thing that I won't touch on too much of. This includes fellow members and virtual YouTubers from the agency that Mel's under called Hololive, or the illustrator who designed Mel. You know, don't mention anyone that's just not involved at all, and you should be fine. And this is just cover bases, but I do want to keep this video strictly to this channel. I don't like the idea of people reposting this video to their own channels. That kind of implies to me as stolen content. If you do want to transcribe this video into your language, or if you still want to repost this video transcribed into your language, DM me on Twitter at philippo_39. You'll see the handle on screen right now. But DM me on Twitter, and if you give me a valid reason for it, then I can get you set up with everything that you'll need. The link to add community subtitles to the video, or the actual video recording itself, if I approve of the reasoning. So, to begin, we should probably explain a bit about what virtual YouTubers are. As some of you know from following me on Twitter, you'll probably know that I've been into virtual YouTubers as recent as within the past year or so. And if you're not into that kind of stuff, that's perfectly fine, but some of you who've never heard of the term virtual YouTuber, it will probably be confused. So, to basically explain, virtual YouTubers are basically content creators. These are variety streamers and people who make videos and do live streams while being represented by a CG-generated digital avatar. That's basically what they are. Sometimes they'll run independently, but for the most part, they are under agencies created by companies that endorse virtual YouTubers. For example, there's this company in Japan called Cover Corporation that is behind an agency called Hololive. And Hololive, for those who don't know, is an agency of these virtual YouTubers, based mostly in Japan, but they've expanded to different parts of the world, specifically China, Indonesia, which actually launched last month, and coming soon, there will be a division for English-speaking virtual YouTubers, which is really exciting. But they're basically like most variety streamers out there. They make videos and do live streams and give audiences a pretty good time and hang out with them. Whether it's just a day of relaxing chatting with them, whether it's playing video games, or whether it's singing. And that also kind of correlates with singing streams and also music videos, whether it's original songs or song covers, which is pretty neat. Now, these virtual YouTubers can also collaborate, not just with each other, especially in an agency, but with fellow virtual YouTubers out there. Mostly in Japan, but also internationally as well, depending on who they choose to collaborate with. Basically, you get the whole point. Now, as you can probably guess, and I hinted this at the beginning of the video, we're going to be talking about one of those virtual YouTubers from Hololive, the first generation VTuber, Yozora Mel. Now, as mentioned, this video is designed to promote Mel, and in order to really do so, we kind of have to explain who she is. According to her profile on the Hololive website, she is described basically as, and yes, this is an actual description, a vampire who prefers drinking Acryla juice, or something that's close to tomato juice, I assume, as opposed to blood. Whew. But anywho, when it comes to her content on YouTube, Mel's mostly known for her streams where she's chatting with either fellow virtual YouTubers and friends, both within Hololive and outside of that, or just chatting with her audience. She's also well known for her karaoke streams, as well as the music videos that she puts up on YouTube, more or less with song covers. I think there might be at least one original song that she has up there. I'm not 100% sure. Anyone who's been following Mel since she debuted, I think in 2018, can correct me on that in the comments. But she's also well known for situational ASMR / voice plays / voice dramas. And a lot of that's actually pretty cool. I haven't listened to any of the ASMR stuff she's done, but I do have a sound package that I purchased in which it's basically Mel doing system sounds for customized system sounds, basically, that I can apply to my OS. So, if I click something that is usually would give me the Windows error, instead I would be hearing the voice of Mel instead, and it's actually pretty cool. If you want to check out some of that stuff, I'll put links to her YouTube channel. I'll put links to her Twitter in case you want to follow her. I'll also put links to the voice stuff that I mentioned in the description as well. I'll also put links to some notable content that she's done, and I will say this: when it comes to the stuff that Mel does, or with any virtual YouTuber, you never know what could happen. It could be something really cool, like a cover of a song by one of my favorite Vocaloid producers, or a song from an anime, or from an artist well known for anime theme songs. When she does do gaming streams, sometimes she'll play something like Mario Kart or Minecraft or Ring Fit Adventure, just to name a few. Or, and yes, this is actually a stream that happened, it could be as wonderful as a stream where she and three of her friends got together, got McDonald's, and just chowed down on Japanese McDonald's for 80 minutes. I saw a VOD of that the other day, and it's my personal favorite stream of anything that Mel has done. So, thanks, Mel, for probably one of the greatest times that I've had watching a stream, even if it's a VOD. I definitely hope you guys get a chance to check her out. Even if you aren't into virtual YouTubers as a whole, if that's not your thing, I do at least recommend giving her content a shot. With all that said, obviously, as you can probably tell, Mel's going through some pretty tough times as we speak, and she's in the process of recovering from that, but we're not going to use this to say anything about what's going on, because, let's be real, what I would be saying otherwise is nothing really new or groundbreaking for that matter. Instead, I want to use this as a way to basically address Mel directly in the form of a video letter. So, to Yozora Mel, obviously we come from different parts of the world, we speak different languages, I don't speak much Japanese. Admittedly speaking, I use a translator called DeepL for that, and I can understand if your English is not, quite as fluent for me to really understand, but regardless of that, hi. First off, if you're watching this and you don't know who I am, my name is Phil Poe, and I'm a filmmaker from America. And I want to use this letter as a way of simply saying thank you. Whatever you were going through between October of last year and March of this year, thank you for taking the time to speak up about it and speak about what's been going on and speak it with a very clear mind. It was easy for me to really understand what was going on, even as someone who hasn't really checked out much of your content up until recently. And I definitely feel that speaking up about it instead of holding it back is a very important step in the recovery process. And I will say this, especially considering you're still in the process of recovery. And I know you mentioned in a letter you posted on Twitter that you weren't sure if you even wanted to talk about it, but because of how people would respond. But the way that I would express that, because I can understand, and if you're not sure where you want to be open about something, the best way for me to express some wise words of wisdom is don't let those doubts and those fears of negative responses get to you. But at the same time, don't be afraid to speak up about it either, because by doing so, you can help someone who's going through a similar position that you're in, but also you can help someone avoid being in the same position that you're in. And so I just want to give my sincere thanks to you for being able to speak up about it, because to kind of give a bit of context for those not in the know, basically being subjected to harassment is never a good thing, and it's especially worse if it's sexual harassment and bullying and all that stuff. And I can't say much about the sexual harassment part, but I have been bullied myself when I was a kid, and I don't think I've ever been open about it either in a video or on a live stream. But just hearing what you went through over the last 6 months since it was happening, that was something I immediately could connect to, because I've been in that same position where there are some people, not a majority, but very few people, who basically made my childhood a living nightmare, admittedly. And some of them have apologized for that in the years since, and regret what they did. But it's hard not to think about the trauma that I was going through and the emotional stress that all that was putting on me. And so hearing how much of what you were going through was giving you a huge amount of stress, that was something that I could connect with. I definitely hope that the recovery process has been going well for you. I know you're still in that process as of the time I'm recording this, but I wanted to use this opportunity to give you my support, and also use this as a way to promote your stuff to people who don't know anything about you or virtual YouTubers as a whole. And I also want to say shout out to you and everyone and anyone really who's a virtual YouTuber who's been able to interact with their audience and build a not a following, but a community where we can all gather together, enjoy your content, and have a good time with it. As someone who used to do YouTube stuff 10 years ago, and mind you, I was 12, I think, back then, when I decided just on a whim that I wanted to make YouTube videos, I didn't have necessarily the same resources that can allow me to grow and interact with an audience the way that you and your friends and anyone who's a virtual YouTuber has. Now, mind you, there are some independent virtual YouTubers who are, and those who are under, agencies or groups that are small scale, that don't have, as big of a following as you guys have. But, this is not really a competition, and not by any means. As the saying goes, you learn by keep doing what you do, and have fun with it yourself. Do it because you want to do it, and the following will start to show and continue to grow and build as you continue to do this. And I will say that admittedly, I feel a little jealous because you're able to have the resources needed to build a huge following, especially with the content that you do, the collaborations you take part of, etc. I didn't have that when I was doing YouTube videos 12 years ago. I have been in a few factions, mind you, but those factions kind of fell apart. And so, there was never really a moment where I felt like I had the right resources to, do it. And that was the whole reason I stopped doing YouTube videos, honestly. And then when I decided to make the shift to Twitch streaming, it was the exact same thing, I'm still growing as a streamer, although I'm only doing it streams now as a hobby. I'm not doing it full time. But the best way I can really express what it feels like to be a content creator, as long as you're having fun doing it, then as long as you're having fun doing it, as long as your audience is having a good time, then I think you would feel pretty much accomplished as a content creator. Now, obviously, don't stop until that time comes when you feel like you can't do it anymore, because obviously, as we grow older, we realize we can't keep doing, things we love to do anymore. But until that time comes, keep being you, and continue to grow, continue to do what you love to do. Obviously, right now is not the best time for that, but as you mentioned in your letter, when you feel you're ready to return to the activities you do as a virtual YouTuber that you love doing, and I can definitely tell that's the case based on the very little stuff that I've seen, then I can guarantee that those who've been following and supporting you for the past 2 years or so will be ready to welcome you back with open arms, with the amount of support that we can give to you as viewers, as fans, as the Cup and Mean, as I think I remember your fan base is called. But other than that, that's basically it. That's basically everything that I want to say. But I definitely hope this video encourages you, or at least gives you the support that you definitely need, even as you're still going through that recovery phase. And I definitely hope that for anyone watching, if they do decide to check out your content, I definitely hope they have a good time, and that they enjoy it, and that they feel like they can support you and welcome you into their lives as much as, like, I've welcomed you in my life, especially after what you've been going through. Now, mind you, this is not, a romantic thing. You know, I don't think I ever said this, but I'm not really interested in pursuing any romantic relationships. And so, you know, anyone watching, please don't take that the wrong way. But I definitely hope a video like this helps to provide, to show the support and the level of respect that I have for virtual YouTubers and those like you who are willing to be open about the things that have been going on in their personal life, especially with what you've been going through, and know that I'm going to be there to support you as well, to the best of my ability. Even if I live in a completely different area, and if I speak a different language than you do, you know, I really hope that this helps you take the giant albatross of emotional stress and lift it out of your life. And who knows? I'm definitely looking forward to the day when you return to the activities that you love to do as a virtual YouTuber. And who knows? They could basically be anything. Maybe even another McDonald's collaboration. Honest to God, if I ever decide to plan a visit to Japan, we should definitely, this is hypothetical mind you, but we should definitely hang out and do a McDonald's collaboration. I think that would be a lot of fun, even if some people are probably thinking, what? But anywho, with all that said, that's gonna be it for this video. As I said at the start, this video is and will be designed to promote Mel and support her, and I hope you guys show her that same respect and support that she really needs right now. I'm definitely looking forward to the day when she returns to her virtual YouTuber activities, when that time comes. And other than that, that's basically it. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you for Mel, if you're watching this, thank you for listening to what I have to say. This is kind of more or less my response to the letter, and I'll be completely honest, I've been wanting to try and write something to show you the respect and support that I think you need, and it's hard to do that in the written language, and it's definitely a lot harder, as you can probably guess, for me to express that verbally as well. But with all that said, thank you everyone for watching. I've been Philip Ho, and I'll see you guys next time.